I always smile when people ask me, why do you call yourself a storyteller? You're a writer. You write novels, you write short stories, you write articles, and I'm like, yeah, but writing, I see it as how you stack up language and your attention to grammar and sentence structure, etc., and that's all important, but at the root of it all, I always see storytelling, which is why I've always told stories. And I think we all tell stories to remind ourselves of the human experience, that we are human. We are experiencing this collectively, we're sharing it, and it binds us to people that came before us, to the people who are with us in this experience right now, and to the people who will come after us. And I never really thought too much about the periods and the sentences and the commas and the semicolons as much as I thought about how a story would affect somebody else and how it would make them feel. I think that's at the root of what it is that we're doing. I think that the first stories ever told were the paintings on the cave walls in France. And I think that those stories came from necessity. Here's how you eat. These are the animals we took. This is how this worked. And I think that we've evolved, obviously, to express a lot of different things. But I don't think we've ever come too far from a campfire and talking to each other about things that mattered and that universally affect all of us. I think that's why we tell stories. A solid story would be the story of Abuelito. He was a watchmaker who came from Mexico. And when he came up from Mexico to make watches here in America, in Los Angeles, he was considered maestro. And what that meant was all the people who worked with him considered him maestro, meaning master, because he could build watches better than anybody else at the place that he was building watches. He built watch after watch after watch. He was paid per watch, not per hour, per watch. He used that money, he saved it up, and he brought my abuelita, my grandmother, and the rest of the family here from Mexico, where they established their own watchmaking business and jewelry business, which was robbed a couple times too, because it wasn't necessarily in the best part of town. One time as a kid, I went to the grocery store with Abuelito and Abuelita, and Abuelita drove the car, and I would sit alone in the car with Abuelito while she went to get groceries. I'll never forget this one time when we sat together and he said, and he had very broken English. It was very hard for him to communicate with me because I did not understand Spanish and he did not totally understand English, but we worked together to figure out how it would go down. And he said, Dante, in life, it's important to have something. Doesn't matter what it is, but have something. Me, I am watchmaker. I have something. And so every now and then, when I end up wondering why I tell stories and why I decided to write stories and why I've decided to write novels and why I've decided to write short stories and articles and everything else, I remind myself, I'm a storyteller. I have something. I'm a storyteller.